Steve here again, just doing another screencast for the AutoCorrect2 app. In our last screencast, which was the first one of the series, we downloaded and unzipped the file, and we opened Core and ran the application. Double click the exe, get the startup notice, and you'll notice that my hotkeys, or rather my key presses and mouse clicks, are being shown on screen. That's a separate app I have running. That's not part of AutoCorrect. Okay, so I want to look at some common settings today, and these are things that people have emailed about on the forums, had questions about, and so I had to explain them, and I'm also explaining them here for future reference. So let's go to, so we're going to press Win H, which again is the hotkey for the main hot string helper app here. Going to right click on the exam pane, and there is Configuration Manager, which we were using last time as well. So open that, go ahead and close this, and the different sections of the ini file. So this here is a front end graphical user interface for editing the ini file. Hot string helper, the app, then reads the ini file on startup, and it affects the way hot string helper and autocorrect behaves and the way it looks, and so saves those settings for us when you restart your system. So I'm going to go here to AC System, and AC System is one of the files that is included in hot string helper, and this is some of the settings for the different bits of code that are in that included file. So we have, first one I want to look at is beeps. And so last time we did the video, we did a couple of sample hotkeys, the and. So it mistyped the, and then when it gets corrected, you get the beep. And so if you don't want that beep and you're tired of listening to it, you can turn it off here. Beep on correction, just make that silent. There is also the context logger, which attempts to capture the couple of words that I typed before and after a miscorrection. So a miscorrection is when I do an autocorrection and whoops, that's not what I wanted, so I press backspace. And so the logging system waits for a second, 1 second, and then if the backspace has been pressed, it tries to capture a couple of words before and after the miscorrection, so I can have a little context. So if you don't want the beep during that context logging, unclick this one. And then again, as said in the previous video, is that if you just undo logging altogether, then these two settings down here become moot anyway. Okay, so first, next thing to look at, so that was the beeps, and the next is the skip lists, right? So one of the app setting, one of the hotkeys that is hot strings that's in the library is changing ASSS to ASS. And it's the word middle, so it's not just the word ass, but it's words that contain that string of letters. But the thing is that a lot of Windows games utilize WASD as navigation keys, and so if you're trying to you press A and then SSS, and it backspaces, it can mess everything up. And so we needed a way to have a blacklist for those apps, and it's the app skip list rather than a blacklist. We're just calling it a skip list. So comma separated, no spaces between the app names. It's the name of the exe, and if one of those exes are running, then the AutoCorrect2 simply won't do the autocorrections. Okay. And there's also a win skip list. And so if you have a particular window, for example, if I didn't want this window to get autocorrections when I typed into it, I would add edit text setting here without quotations. And again, this would be a comma separated list without, without spaces. So you get the idea. Okay. So those two, and then let me show you the third way to prevent autocorrections. Now, I guess there's 4 ways, because I could go to the app icon here, the Greek sigh, and just exit the whole darn script. But also, if I want to leave the script running for any reason, but I want to disable the autocorrections, I can uncheck enable autocorrections right here, and then it tells me autocorrections are now disabled. And so I can do whatever typing I need to do and it won't get corrected, and then go back and turn this back on when I'm ready to resume my normal work. So those are the three ways. Okay, so that is this. So cap fix 2 letters. So this is another thing that has tripped people up in the past, and what it is there is some code in here, not written by me, written by a fellow named Intepa, I think, and it autocorrects 2 caps. So I write hello, sorry, let's see here, H-E, there it is, H-E-L. All right, so it has a timeout, so if I do it slowly, it won't autocorrect the cap. All right, but if I do it quickly, it does. And so that's all good. You might like to turn off that beep. So beep on cap fix right here. You can turn that off. But there's another thing, is common 2-letter words. So 2, it'll fix those as well. But it can be problematic sometimes. For example, there was a fellow recently that works in IT, and he was getting IT fix. You know, we want that to be an actual, if you type it slowly, the correction won't happen. But maybe you'd like to just disable that feature altogether. And if you do want to disable that, go to fix 2 cap letters and disable it right here. No problem. Okay, so next thing here to look at is in the other section here, hot string helper. And so there are, the first couple things here are disabling particular tools, and these are tools that they're not really related directly to autocorrect functionality, but they're just little scripts that I had running in the background. So I just integrated them so I could just have them running automatically, and my AutoCorrect app was kind of like the main master script that ran the other tools. So anyways, you'll notice with Windows, common behavior is if you want to move a window, you drag it by the title bar. We all know that. But this script lets you hold down Alt and Control, and you can drag it from anywhere, right? So that's the move resize. That's the move functionality. The resize is similar. Again, you press Alt and Control, but you're going to right click and it will resize the window. So right click for this and left click for this. All right, so that has messed people up a couple times, and so I have it set as 0 by default. So on my computer, I like to use that tool, so I have it turned on, but it's for you guys, it's turned off by default. So there is that. And another one that has messed people up is kind of hard to visualize, but if I just do right click and drag, so drag down, drag up, what it's doing is it's pressing home end button, home button, and right click left, drag left, right click, drag right. Can't really see anything, but it's doing like control left and control right. And so those mess people up. If you have an app that you like to use right click and drag on, then you'll want to disable this. So again, disabled by default. Turn it on if you want. I find it useful. It's based on the app Mouse Gestures, which is a pretty cool app. It's just a subset of that functionality. So okay, so I've looked at this, the drag tools, move resize, initial focus target. So with the hot string helper, and we'll look at in a future screencast here, we'll look at building hot strings with hot string helper here. But we had people that asked if we could change the focus. So do you want this box, the trigger string, to be selected by default, or do you want it to be the replacement box that's selected by default? And that is determined by the initial focus placement in the hot string helper thing here. And so you can read the help text in the help pane at the bottom of the setting manager tool here. But if you do auto, which is what I recommend, then it will attempt to intelligently pick one of these for you. If you do a boilerplate entry, well, here, I'll just demonstrate. Cancel this, close this, select a single word here, beeps, and then you'll see that it's assuming that I'm doing an autocorrect entry and that probably it's a misspelled word that I've selected. So it's the replacement box is getting focused so that I can fix that misspelling. However, if I do an entire section of text like this and press the hotkey, then it is assuming that I'm entering a boilerplate template item and that I probably will want to customize the trigger string. And so now the trigger string is focused by default. And by the way, you can switch that focus. I think, how did I do that? I think it was a shift left and shift right. Shift left, shift right. There it is. Okay. But anyways, you can change the initial what is focused by default with this setting here. Keep it by auto to do the thing that I was just showing you. Okay. Next thing is the when you are doing like a boilerplate text replacement entry. What this is doing here is, I probably should have anticipated this before I started doing my screencast here, but it's taking the first letter of each word and making those into a DMIB, into an acronym for the trigger. But it's also, my system is that I like to use a semicolon at the beginning of each of my trigger strings. That's just my system. And so because of that boilerplate prefix, I have the semicolon. So if you like a different boilerplate prefix, you can put your own there. I've seen a couple of people, they like to have a slash at the end, so they have the acronym DMIB and then a slash. And so if that's what you want, then you would want the boilerplate prefix, put a slash in there, and it would add that by default. See if I can. Yep, there it is. Oh, well, I guess we have both now. We have the semicolon and the slash as well. Probably wouldn't want them both. You'd want one or the other. So, okay, and I think we're at just over 12 minutes, and so I'm going to stop here again, and we'll do some different stuff in the next screencast. So this has been AutoCorrect2 Common Settings. Thanks for watching.